A huge thank you to all of you that watch the channel and to our Patreon saints. We are actually about to drop our next free subscriber game, and it's really a good one, so stay tuned. Now, as far as Switch games go, Nippon Marathon is up there with the most insane I think I've ever reviewed. Take Takeshi's castle and merge it with Ninja Warrior, and you basically have the twisted, wonderful mess that is Nippon Marathon. Whether playing as an old man who associates as a small girl, weird, or a man dog, weirder, the game is an over-the-top hot mess of a thing, but it might actually be my favourite party game on Switch. Let's find out why.
Incredible! Nippon Marathon! Oh my!
Surprisingly, each of the four main characters has a vast and expansive story campaign that is spread over the 8 or so stages in the game. The writing is suitably, unique. Check this out. Now, story is hilarious, but also quite drawn out. What irritated me about it was that you can't skip the cutscenes completely, and when all you want to do is get to the meat of the game, the racing, it can get quite annoying. That being said, on my first playthrough as Narwhal Girl, don't call her a unicorn, whatever you do, I found the motives and backstory were really quite well managed. Yes, almost drowning and being rescued by narwhals, only for your rich father to eat a lobster in front of you, causing you enough trauma to inspire you to win a marathon that pays hefty sums of cash, allowing you to escape said overbearing parents, may seem a touch ludicrous, but no wait, it is. Totally. And that's the point here really. And if having a bloody good laugh is something you enjoy, story is definitely for you. My cons, as mentioned, are the lack of a skip cutscene button, and at times the writers become a little too self-referential, always a difficult one to get right. What is great though is that the developers, two British guys by the way, chose to include a fleshed out and entirely insane story for each of the four characters, and you certainly won't be bored. Story scores 14 out of 20. So the main game involves competing over a vast track where you must run holding the left stick and try and stay in contention with the other racers.
3, 2, 1, begin!
To impede your heroic efforts are a series of ludicrous obstacles and challenges, from dogs keen on chewing your ankles, flying watermelons, and a few cyclists. If you fall too far behind, you are benched until someone takes the front spot. At this stage, popularity stars are awarded to that person, with the people at the back losing some stars and second place staying as they are. Still with me? Good, I'm impressed. You can jump by pressing the B button, and holding the A will allow a rather hilarious duck for either traversing low objects or looking a little bit like PewDiePie. At some points in most stages, a series of entirely ridiculous events will take place. You may be beamed out of the level, only to arrive in the nightmare version of Barbie and Ken's dream house, with Ken playing the creepy shirt-wearing scientist who wants to test out who could escape his maze the quickest. Whistle blows and off you launch, usually face first into a wall. The winner netting an all-important popularity point. Still with me? Wow. Other side events include creating a story that will then be judged on an audience's reaction, or some other insanely out of place but hilarious distraction. The problem with these is they soon become chores rather than entertaining sidebars. Thankfully, you can purchase a Switch in the store with the in-game earnings to remove this. Also, in this store you can buy further characters for multiple races. Hurrah! So you've run through the ridiculous Takeshi's Castle style race, battling for first place with the ridiculous physics, and then you stumble upon an item crate. Great. Hang on, what the hell is this? A giant watermelon? Ah, right, of course. You can throw them, and they home blue shell style to the front runner. How silly of me, I should have known. Or what about a pineapple that inflates, allowing you to jump and fly over your opponents? No? Banana that causes others to break every limb on their body? Still not sold? Okay, I've got you. A mushroom that essentially chokes out everyone behind you until they black out while running and facepalm the tarmac. Sold. This is Nippon Rally.
Down!
At the end of each level, you're greeted with an entirely appropriate scoring system based on the stars, but also your general popularity, how many times you were attacked by dogs, your propensity for mushrooms, and also how much you stink. Like, seriously. This is gaming gold right here. Controlling your characters isn't always as easy as it appears. Every small object in the world is physically rendered, so colliding with a pane of glass will be fine one moment and break before you, leaving a path to glory. And the next, some physical thing will invisibly collide with you, sending you launching off screen to the loud laughter of your friends and your inevitable rage.
Might just win this. Wow!
Personally, I got to grips with these quirks, and you can definitely get good at the game. For those wanting a Mario Kart level of polish and fairness, this is absolutely not the experience for you, but as a party game or even in solo against the computers through the story mode, there is a lot of fun and value here. Aside from the main story, there are some party games, which is nice to see. These include a cross between Ninja Warrior, which generates a random track and you and a friend must try and get the furthest before perishing, to a bowling game straight out of, well, Nippon Marathon really. Gameplay is entirely ridiculous, but I enjoyed it immensely as a solo experience. I also enjoyed it even more watching Glen rage at just how janky it can be, but he does have a point. Sometimes it's ridiculously unfair. Again, that's either part of the charm or just crap, depending on your perspective. For me though, gameplay scores 16 out of 20. Visually, what can I say? Look at it. It looks like you decorated a turd with a colourful paint job and then splashed some glitter over it. It is absolutely, utterly, completely appropriate for the subject matter. Physics are off the chart and the colourful characters and suitably terrible animations just fit this game. Some of those hand-drawn characters are nice, and in cutscenes these add to the strangeness and charm. The cast are without a doubt the most unusual, ragtag bunch of misfits I've ever had the pleasure of playing as. The aesthetic in terms of what the developer intended is spot on, with strange and out of place pictures of random objects popping up on screen, and each level is vastly different from the last. Visuals score 13 out of 20.
Introduces our star. These laser beams are imported from Neo-Jinko.
The audio is a real strong point of Nippon Marathon. It takes every Japanese game show and rolls it into one game, with the standout performance coming from the commentator who narrates throughout the race to hilarious effect. Everything here feels right though, and the slapstick nature of on-screen proceedings is heightened by the audio on offer. Music is upbeat and works well, and the game is one of those you will have going around in your mind long after you've stopped playing.
Trolleys should not be used as a method of transportation.
Audio scores 16 out of 20. The game is £11.99, €12.99 or $14.99. It's a really good price point in my opinion for a game you will not find the likes of anywhere else on this planet. At its core, it wants to be the Takeshi's castle you always wanted to go on as a child, but now can do that with your friends all on a single Nintendo Switch. The party aspect sells this to me, but actually I've had a blast in solo working through the 4 ridiculous stories. The game is so unique. It is difficult to judge value on a large scale, but I certainly have enjoyed the time and playing party with my wife, even when she beat me at trolley bowling, is great. Value scores 14 out of 20. Nippon Marathon is what you might get if Frankenstein was actually trying to create a game and not a monster. It's alive, he would scream at several monsters, as one with a dog's head, one dressed as a narwhal, an 80-year-old man girl, and that guy, just there, ran out into the night launching watermelons at each other. It scores a SwitchUp score of 73%. An utterly unusual but delightfully different game. Thanks for watching, let me know what you thought down below. Oh, and remember, we're giving away that free game in the next video. For all things Switch all the time, keep it Switch up. See ya!